Okay, great. So going back, I'll be speaking about these keyframes. That's the majority of what we have here, and the explanation. So what keyframes majorly do is, that's as I said, it handles the to and from. When I say to, that's at what point should it move. So if you are putting it okay to at 50% or at 4 seconds or at something, that's when I want the whatever element to move. And so when I actually try this, let me run this, which is an example from them. Initially, you can see that this image is actually yellow. Then at some point, it changes. So because there is actually a animation duration, which I will see explain. I'm starting with the keyframes. So it states change this to this at this duration. So every keyframes used to have their names. So maybe we should just go into coding so that I could explain this better. So we have this, we have this. This is the CSS. Let me just HTML rather, but let me just remove this here. Okay. So the first thing that you actually undo when you are trying to write your animation, let me remove this, is you need to place. Let me just put width of. Let me give it a so that we can see what we have. Width of 200 pixel, height of 200 pixel. Then let me give it a background color of yellow. Yellow. Then let me save. So let me open this down so that we see what we have. Open with live server. It's not showing. Let me check. Let me check. I think CSS style sheets. CSS style sheet container is correct. This is also correct. Why is this not loading up something for me?
Your CSS is it supposed to be hash or dot?
It's dot in the class.
Okay, okay, okay.
Baby that child now. See, people stop this thing now. People should use your head now. Stella, Stella. People will not be paying my money. Abba.
The shout is too much.
Now let me try please. Apologies, please. Yeah. Sorry, please. Let me check my class name. Okay, sorry. This is the reason. My style is actually inside. It's not my index. They're not in the same. They're not in the same folder. So that's why. Apologies for that. So this should actually run now. I'm visualizing this. So this is here now. I hope you can see it.
But yes, yes.
Okay, great, great. So now let me go. Let's now make our animation work on this container. One of the first thing that animation used to have beside the animation name is keyframes. So to do that, whatever I need to do before what handles my animation, that's what it should do. Is always in keyframes. So if I do add keyframes, it's already given that I need an identifier. That is a name. That name needs to be unique. So if, for example, I want to put it to say background, background change. That's the name that I want to call my keyframe. Then now I want to do from what part to what part. How should it change? So let's say I want to actually change my color, for example. Like when you actually when you land on the page, I want to change my color within this social this thing. Whatever I need to do first is I need to set my from. I can use 0%. I'll show you both of them. From then I can set what I need to do. Background color. Let me say background color. Let me say green. Green. Then I can still also add what again? Let me say um left. That's where it's starting from. My start point. Left, let me say this is actually, let me say 50%, 50 pixels. Then the next one I want to do is maybe my toe. So then I can put my toe and say background color. Let's say blue, blue. So let me say blue. Sorry, let me say blue. Then I would like to say maybe this left. Let me put it at 300 pixel. Left 300 pixel. Then let me save this. Now I've done my keyframes. This my name that I added this keyframe section should be what is going to be my animation name. So whatever thing I'm trying to do, my animation name, I'm not using the full this thing instead of using animation. Okay, my animation name must be this keyframe name. That's what my animation name must be. So if I'm using this, I'm setting this. Then at what duration should this do for me? Because you can see duration. At what duration? I can say 2 seconds. So let me just leave all these other ones. I would like to remove all these other ones. Then I'll still leave delay there so that I don't to have to do a lot. I would explain everything also. Delay. Then my delay at what this thing. Let me say I want it to delay for 1 second. Let me put this one. No, let me do this one as 4 seconds. Then I want this one to actually be at let's say 8 seconds. So let's see. So when I save this and I view back, let's see what happens. You can see at a second, the initial button was actually blue. At exactly 4 seconds, it changes to green. So that's when the animation starts. Changes to green. Then at 8 seconds, it changes to blue. So it takes a little while before it actually moves to the next one. Then it comes back to the initial color, then does not move again. It has finished its work. It has finished its work at this point. Then now, at this point that has finished its work, that you can see. Now, if I should refresh, so it does again. After that, it falls back to the initial state, which is the yellow. So it stays for a while, then falls back to this point. Then it does not do anything again. Then to actually make it continuous, one of the things I need is is the iteration count. Now I'm trying to explain all of this one by one, which is iteration count. Then let's say iteration count. I want you to actually move at that kind of interval. Let's say, let me just do 4 times. 4 times. So this one does not have x, which is the 4 times. So let me go back and see. So let's see. Let me refresh again. So it starts, it changes, then it moves back again. You can see now it does not go back to that yellow yet though, because that's the initial state. Before it move back to the initial state, it change again to green. Green is counting itself until it gets to that iteration count that we added before it stops. Then at the fourth one, then it stops. It returns back to the yellow, as you can see. So now this is how you add the iteration count. You make it actually move at different intervals. Also, if I need to make this my animation move in a way that I want it to continue moving, just the way you have this example, this one, let me save this first. Just the way you have this example, that it keeps on moving without stopping. It does not have any stop point. Also, this same example, it keeps on moving without a stop point. The what handles that is the infinite this thing that we had there. So normal English, infinite means continuous. Continuous. Let me just reduce this so that we can see what is happening fast instead of this long route. So let me just reduce this and you would see. You can see it does not have any stop. It just continues. It continues. It continues. So this how animation fading, like color change and all. Instead of you going to go and say, oh,
Toby,
designer,
Toby, sorry,
yes,
Toby, sorry. Why is the yellow color completely out of the whole show?
that's because the
How do
time
we
the
make this?
time that the time it starts, that's the from. At the time the interval it starts, I'm taking it at zero interval. So even when I refresh, you see, so immediately it shows the yellow, then it continues. It's the time that actually matters. So you can see where they actually have the time duration and the delay. That delay says, okay, delay for the seconds before you move to start showing the animation. If the delay is at zero, if I put the delay at zero, you won't even see the yellow color again. If I put the delay at zero, you won't see that animation color, that yellow this thing again. So let me go back to it and refresh. So as you can see, I'm refreshing, but you can see that you can't see the yellow. It's not showing. So it's that delay function that holds it that way. So animation is very simple and easy. There's also another lesson. So the major thing about animation is these functions that you have there. This function. So you have the keyframes, which is what I just showed you now. So this is what undo your from. If you want it to move, then you can even still add the transform in this. So let's say you want it to transform, move from right to left
Can you
at this
zoom
point.
in a bit? Can you zoom in a bit?
Okay. Okay. So if you want to put, let's say, if you want to move it like move from right to left, the way we actually did those transform stuff ourselves, this is the keyframe that handles all of that. So if you want to say, okay, I want this thing to move this way in this direction and all. So let's run an example. Let's do an example of another type of that animation. Let's say, we want to make our element move in one, go like this, come back, go like this, come back. Just the way this one is actually moving this way. But now we want to make it move differently. So what we need to do at that point is, let me go back to my code. There's something called animation direction. Okay, I think what I need to do is, instead of me writing this way, one of the best way to write it as a beginner is, one, have your animation name, then give it, what's it called, background, change. Let me just copy this from here. My cap lock seems not to work. Change. So this is for this. Then I can have my animation duration. Then I can let me say animation duration. I can animation duration comes before delay. So animation duration, let me say my 2 seconds. The way I have this. Then afterwards I can have my I can say animation iteration count. No, before iteration count, delay. Let me say animation delay. Do I actually put that one as 0 seconds? This is capital. Now the next one I can say animation. Um, what did I put here? Iteration count. The not I put there the animation iteration count. Then I can put it as let's say added infinite. So that the next animation property that I want to discuss is the animation direction. So what did I want it to do? I say animation direction. Let me give it what I want it to do. There are different elements I can add: alternate, reverse. That's alternate, reverse. There are a lot of lessons. What you can just do is go to your MDN docs or even your normal your um, W3 schools, you would see those things I just tried calling now. Normal, reverse, alternate, reverse. These are the properties that handles what you're trying to do. So you can see this one is actually this animation is played as normal forward. So this one is actually played in the reverse, that's backward. This one is actually played forward first, then backward. This animation is played backward first, then forward. So we're actually using this alternate for that. So let me just change it and put this here. Then let me save. Let me save. Then let me go back to our let's go back to our code to see what we have. Let me check something. What am I missing? What am I missing? Okay, sorry. I need to add a position element here, position relative. Yeah, I need to add a position relative here. So let me go back to our code. So you can see, because I added at 50%, so this is what it does. I add, what I actually added here, my movement. I added 300 pixels. So if I change this thing to, let's say, 1000 pixel, you'll see what will happen. So just to show you what that direction does. So I'm saving this. So if I go back, now you can see. So it takes it forward first, then it takes it back. Like it starts again. But infinite now just makes it continue moving. So likewise, with this, what is it called? This example, you'll be able to know how this is being done. That it keeps on moving. Also, how this is being done. So this one is actually now slow. The time or at which it takes is actually now slow. So it's just like me going back here, saying something like the duration. Let me say, let me put it to let's say 10 seconds. And let me go back to my code and let's see. So you can see that it's now slow. It goes slowly. It goes slowly. You can even still increase the seconds to make it to very, very, very slow. So what handles animation, like I'm saying, is all these elements. Although there are more elements, and those elements, when you actually click animation, you would see them. Film mode, direction, whatsoever. These are elements that actually add the animation. But all of this can be written in just one way, which is this way. The major element, like I said, name, duration, time function, delay, iteration count, direction, fill mode. So these are the major elements of this. So you can just change all of this. See the way they are actually numbered. So if I actually go and put delay here before duration, it already takes duration as delay. So what you need to know is understand this structure. Understanding this structure would make the code itself understand that, okay, because this one is 10 seconds, this one is also using seconds function. If we should put them in like differently, it will not understand. So with this, I would say this is the basic of animation. One of the videos I would recommend you to watch more on animation, and I don't know if it has been posted. So let me just check. Let me show you. You're on YouTube. On YouTube, there's a Zurich this thing that spoke about. So I recommend you to watch this video. Um, no. So let's go back to Zurich tips. I'm trying to get the video out. Okay, I don't seem to. Okay, I think this is not it. But I'll look for the video and send. That's I would also check if it has not been added before. The video has a good animation explanation on movement of things. So let me use the remaining 10 minutes. Okay, let me have to plug it to take questions. Okay, I'll get that video. I'll get the video and share to the group.
Okay, you share it with us on Slack, right?
Yes, I will. Or is this it? Okay, this is I'll check. I'll share it. I'll share it on Slack. Yeah. So I would like to take questions.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I noticed that the example you gave, the example you gave, that one that has a diagram that the things are circling,
So
the
I can't
images
hear
are
you.
just running around. It's different from the example the one you showed us on VS Code. So what I
You
just
very
want to
well. I
ask
don't know
is
if
that
I
if
hear
I'm
this one.
can you hear me?
I don't know if
Hello,
I
can you hear
can.
me?
I've tried it. I can't hear you properly.
Well, let me change my position. I said that the example you showed us, this better. The example you
Huh?
showed us, the
Yes.
example you showed us, the example you showed us for animations, where you saw a boy that was sitting down and something was rounding it. You get something was
Yes.
rounding from the hair. But the one you gave now, the example you gave on the class now, is just using div to show where this one is moving from and moving to. So what I want to ask is that if you want to do that one that example. Like for instance, I've created something beautiful and I want to make it go round. How will you not do that one?
This actually goes with transform. The video I'm trying to show, although it does not have this, but this actually okay, let me say
So,
advanced this, but let me inspect and show you.
okay. Please, I cannot see your screen again.
Does anybody see here?
Yes, yes, but I cannot see the screen again.
Yeah.
Hello, hello,
I can hear you.
Abel, please. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Abel,
Yes.
make Toby the host.
So that's let it go. So let it go. Sorry, let it go, please. Sorry. My system just tripped off like that. So I'm very sorry for that. That's actually not supposed to occur. Please can let Dale go and you.
Let go.
Yeah.
Sorry, who am I making the host?
Make Toby the host or alternate polar Toby.
Is it Oluwatobi?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it now.
I beg record
Yes.
for us, oh, bros.
Recording is recording. Is recording. So like I was like the question you had, let me inspect this so that I could show you what is there. So let me go back and just select all of this. So this element, let me use this one as an example that is moving. If I scroll down, Okay, not this. How can I target this now? Okay, this. So you can see this actually has an animation. Then there's a class of rotate. Then the class of rotate, that's a class on its own. This is a keyframe. You can see the keyframe, the transform I taught you guys the last time. I don't know if you can see my screen, what I'm sharing. Can you see
Yes,
what I'm
I
sharing?
can see it.
Okay, so
Yes.
there's a class called keyframes rotate, just like the way we did on VS Code now. So this that actually takes the name for the animation. Then now at 0% is at 0 degree, but at 100% it keeps on moving. So it makes sure that it gets to 360 at 0%. So let's use one for example. You can see where this thing is starting. You see that this movement, by the time it rotates back to this point, this thing, it will clock the 360 here. Okay, let me use this block game for example. So I'll mark here as for the block games. This is my arrow. So you see that block games will come back to be correct at this point. It's not correct yet. It's not yet staying. It should be stable to show me fully at this point. Okay, it's not still that way. But it actually takes 360 to get to what is it called. Then this is also to take the minute 55 seconds. So let me put this up. Animation duration is 55 seconds. The animation delay is 0 seconds. That means immediately the site loads, it start moving. Animation function, timing function, linear, we don't speak about that. Animation iteration count, infinite. Animation direction, normal. That's forward. The way it is. Animation name, rotate. So that's why I actually said, when you're actually doing your animation, all these naming actually are important. And aside it being important, whatever thing that you are doing must be inside this keyframe. Keyframe handles the major animation that you're supposed to do. So if you could see the way I actually brought this class, I started with transform. Then from transform, I was able to do transition. Transition now add transform in it. Then animation add transform. So the knowledge of a transform that I taught in the first class should carry you. If you need to do animation this kind of way, the basics. If you did transform, you'll be able to do more things on animation. So if I go to the second website, that Varsity Next website, you'll see that the same logic is being used. So let me scroll down. Inspect. Inspect. So this is it. So now we could see this one is actually using translate, transform, translate, 3D. Then you can see there's actually change in here. So everything majorly on animation for the movement, most of them sometimes depend on this transform element. So that's why it was the first topic I actually treated. So I would expect that if you can understand this transform, when you're trying to do your animation, it should not be that difficult. So this one is actually taking 0 pixel at the point, then it starts changing the figure. So it moves to 2 pixel, then 0 pixel, which is actually calculation. So there's a math function here on this. So let me take another question. Does anyone have another question? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Does anybody have other questions?
No, okay. Since no, I was waiting for somebody to ask, but since nobody's asking now, are you saying? Because I understood what you meant when you said the image, which is this boy that is pressing laptop, is what will
Yeah.
take those properties that you explained.
So
So I want
is
to
these
ask.
images themselves that is taking that property? The images, these images, this game, blog games, icons,
Yeah, that's what I want to understand. Yes.
that one taking the properties. This boy
Okay.
is
Not.
just on its own. It does not have anything to do.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I have, for instance, I get images, different images, and I want to make them rotate around a particular image, which is this boy that is pressing laptop now.
Yes.
What
There has
is
to
now
be
the connection?
the
Why
connection. It has to be a parent div. Then you need to make your animation in a way that the elements they are wrapping over this. So it's actually a CSS stuff. So for example, let me go back to this and let me see the style. So it's actually this is actually in a grid. So it has padding, everything. It has the width and all. It has everything. So all these other this thing, this another div being wrapped into this. So 2 divs, but now all these other ones are in movement in connection to this, which is where a position this thing comes in. So these elements spin around. The spin around function, which still has rotates. It still rotates. So what it does, let me close this. Let me close out this. Let me close out this. You can see everything actually just is in one place. But the parent element, which is this, as that rotates, which is this item, this one, the parent, the item function. Scrolling down, what is that? Okay, yeah. Which has all this spin around stuff is what expands it. That makes it with the styling that it has, translate 140, translate 140, 1.0, the scaling. You know what I said, I talked about scaling in our previous class also, whereby I said scaling is like you expanding, making something bigger. For example, and I use an example of an image. I even used the box that I did last class. I said, if this box is actually 200 pixels, I need to make it bigger. I can use the scale, this thing that takes the width, which is actually an effect here. So the scale actually increases it and says now increase to 0.7 of its normal scale. And these other elements are now moving at their own intervals. I don't know if you understand that now. Yes, you might not understand fully of this, but I believe when you watch this video again and when you try it yourself, when you lay your hands more on transform properties, and as I saw that the first thing that we did, there were just blocks moving about. Those are just the basics of CSS animation. But when you move in deeply into that, you would understand, you would see when it's practice actually, you will be able to use more on CSS animations. And one of the best ways you can also read up things to get better understanding of something is, for example, I can actually do animation CSS codes, examples. Read up codes, enter GitHubs, read up codes, and you'll be able to understand the logic of how they did it. One of the best places where you can actually see is CodePen. So let me even add CodePen. CodePen has a lot of examples. So when you go to CodePen, you will see CSS examination examples. So let me just click on this. Okay, tag CSS. Sorry, this one I'm supposed to click on. Oh, I've closed it. So let me go back. You will see lots of CSS code, what is it called? Animation examples from different people. So you can go into their code and read it up. Just look at how they did it. You can go to that GitHub also, you see the raw file of the code. Let it just load up. These are just few secrets of how you can pick a particular day. Just pick a topic. Just go and read up people's code of how they did it. That way, when you read it up, when here, let me implement it on my own. So it's not necessarily code, it's just an understanding that you just want to have. So there are different of our animations there. There are different types. So let me click on, let's say this loading. Let me look at this loading. This is actually moving. This is an animation. So let me click on this loading to see. Although some of them are good enough, this one does not have JS, does not have JavaScript. It's just normal HTML, CSS. So let it just load up. I don't know why my Frontend.io is refusing to connect. I've been encountering this issue with it. Okay, no, let me do this. Let me copy this. Please, can that person mute, please? So let me say this. So let me just let me take all of this out. Okay, there's another meeting going on now. So I think maybe I would have to end this here. I'll look for a way to get that free time after this class. So there's another class that's supposed to hold now.
Okay, sir.
So I don't know if you understood a little bit of what we.
I understood what you explained. I will do more research based on the ones you've given me. I'll read up.
Okay, okay, okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks very much, guys, for joining. Thanks. And I'll say bye.
Bye.